Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren, and I don't know why I'm doing a video, but I thought it could be fun. And my kids are off of school and they're actually all busy. And I am thinking, why not? And because I wrote a Substack last night with my phone, and then I proofread it like when I could only hold one eye open because I was so tired. And then I thought, it looks good. And then I sent it. And then this morning I thought, that is so disturbing how many typos there were. So for that, I will read it. The post I read or wrote last night is called Happy is the One Who Seizes Your Infants. And then I put a question mark because that's actually a verse in the Psalms, and it's Psalm 137, verses 7 through 9, or maybe it's just verse 9. That might have been one of my edits. Um, okay, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Here is what I wrote. ICE raids. I am so mad. I wish those ICE agents would suffer as much as the people that they are terrorizing. I am as mad as the psalmist in Psalm chapter 137, verses, I think, just 9. It reads, Daughter Babylon, doomed to destruction. Happy is the one who repays you according to what you have done to us. Happy is the one who seizes your infants and dashes them against the rocks. For the record, I would never dash anyone, especially infants, against the rocks. I hope I wouldn't anyway. And I do like to say, and hopefully really am, that I am committed to nonviolence, both in action and in word, speech. But I don't think the psalmist would have actually really bashed any babies against rocks. But he was furious, and so he said it. And the Psalms actually are an invitation to us to consider how we express ourselves to God. God can hold all of that, and sometimes the way that we get through it, through that anger and fury, is by naming it. Not naming it doesn't help us. Anyway, let's continue. The reason that the psalmist was so upset is because his whole people had been captured and enslaved by the Babylonians when Jerusalem was destroyed by the Babylonians. The psalmist and his people were victims of an unfair and a cruel and a greedy regime. They were victims of a huge injustice, and they really wanted God to do something about it. They wanted revenge, and I think so do we. And, I do want revenge. And also, I know that God does love the whole world, all of creation, and so we can pray for revenge. But I know that God's hope is not to cause suffering, but his hope, God's hope, I try not to use pronouns, God's hope or her hope or their hope, his hope, we can use all kinds of pronouns, would be to restore all of creation, to bring all people and all living things into harmony with one another. And that would ideally not involve violence, even when we really want it. Okay, getting back. You're getting like a whole lot of extra because I am not sticking to this script. I hope you're following me. Anyway, so do we. We do want revenge, honestly. And then I wrote mother bleepers, and I wonder, is that violent? I don't know. Moving on. My friend, Natalie, she's an Episcopal priest, and last week she invited me to attend a grief workshop at her church. And I thought, I'm going to do it because I am trying to learn new ways to process any kind of emotion. I'm not very good at that. So I thought it will be good. And the leaders, the facilitators of this workshop invited the people in the group to share what lesson have they learned as they have lived with loss? And if you wanted to, you could sit in this special chair, sort of at the front of the circle, and share your lesson. And then it was really cool because there was a musician in the group, and she would kind of create a song on a whim, use an instrument, sing a song, especially about what you just shared. And then everybody would kind of reflect what they heard you say, and then take a deep breath in, out, and move on. So at the end, I decided I would share, and that's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you about what I shared. I shared that, and this was kind of like a connection moment for me, that living with loss requires letting go. Letting go of the need to understand, letting go of the need to make sense of loss, letting go of the need to justify our feelings. I often get stuck ruminating about the details, or maybe trying to figure out, can I feel this way? Does this make sense? Like I need to explain it to myself. And so I never get to the letting go because I'm so stuck in the figuring out. And so I think that what I've learned about living with loss is that in the letting go, we trust our bodies. We let go of all of the stuff up here, and we're able to kind of process and move on in a healthy way. And we can grow through that. So, circling back to where we are with the ice raids and our political climate and all of the unrest and, well, from my perspective, so much injustice, I thought, instead of trying to make sense of all of this, how do people vote for him? How do these people think what they're doing is okay? Why can't they resist all this stuff? I just need to focus on what I can control, and that is myself. And I will try to always speak and act in ways that can actually affect change. And I don't think my outrage will do that. Not really. And I have to do this even as I'm trying to figure out, how can humans be so cannibalistic? I have to let that go. And I will pick one or two things that's just really close to my heart. And I will put my energy there. And there's going to be a million things popping up that are so important. I just cannot focus my energy on everything. So we'll pick one or two things and then trust that every small action we take, and even the way we live, is an act of resistance, and it will make a difference. I checked in on a couple of my immigrant friends just to see how they were doing, because you cannot underestimate the power of presence and how much peace that can bring, just knowing people are caring about you. I am substitute teaching because I thought I want to be around kids and youth and just whatever. I mean, maybe I'll make a difference. I decided, this is the hardest for me, that I can actually love people who I don't like. I can call my representatives, and most importantly, I need to protect my well-being so that when the time is right for me to act in a way that can make a huge difference, I'm prepared and I'm capable of doing that. All that to say, we need to remember that even now, there are still lots of strong and really courageous and super smart people who exist all around us. The trees that I'm looking at right now are still deeply rooted in the ground, where they have been for a very long time, where they will continue to be rooted probably after some of us go. And I think they're really happy out there. And I think that those trees would love to be a comfort to us if we let them. So why not? Why not just give a tree a hug? Anyway, I haven't done that yet, but maybe. The wind still blows. It still feels soft on our skin. The ground still holds us as we walk The crunchy snow for us is still outside. Slippery mud, still outside, still the same. The stars still twinkle. I love looking up into the sky at night. The stars are still there, and they're still twinkling, and they've been there for so long. The moon still has its normal rhythms, and it lights our nights for us. The sun still warms the day. Animals still burrow and forage and play. They have no idea that us humans are super stressed. They continue to exist. We can too. Birds still migrate. Like, how do they know to do that? But they do, and they continue. Children still love us, even when we don't really deserve it sometimes. Nothing can steal any of this from us, ever. It's very true that evil only wins when we let it. We are all in this together. We do not have to give up our power, which really is love. And this is really a great opportunity for us to think about, who are we? Who do we want to be? Who is America? What are our values? Clarify those, and then make sure that we live in alignment with those values. Living at all as an authentic person, living a life of love, that is the greatest act of resistance any of us can ever do. And that's why I think it's important that we don't dehumanize the other side. All right, so that was super long. Then at the end of my post, I said group hug, and I think these are otters. That would be nice. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I feel like other things came to mind, but I'll probably close off now. And I hope that you all have a great day and stay connected to one another.